Hi, my name is Miranda Fish, and I am doing a persuasive speech today on interpersonal communication. This is my audience here. Say hello.
Hello.
And we are filming at my office, and I'm going to start with a little video presentation. So I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit, but I will try to make this big.
What if your natural communication style is crippling your relationships? What if the way that you naturally process information is doing more harm than good? What if every time you opened your mouth or just walked into a room, you caused damage? Your communication style is the biggest biohazard to your relationships.
So that's what I'm going to touch on. So I'm going to talk about what interpersonal communication is and why it's important, and knowing the communication styles of the people around you is key to having successful relationships. So, interpersonal communication, according to the book Understanding Human Communication, interpersonal communication is the interaction between people who are part of a close and irreplaceable relationship in which they treat each other as unique individuals. The biggest identifier if a relationship is interpersonal or not is the amount of personal information you share and if you treat one another as unique individuals. It is emotional closeness and awareness of each other's personal, unique qualities. There are reasons why we establish close relationships with some people while others are on a surface level. People we are attracted to typically have a lot in common with us. We gravitate towards those who are like us. We like to have balance with people who are in our inner circle. We like each other and appreciate each other and interact frequently. We like people who balance us, complement our strengths, lift us up when we need it. The social exchange theory suggests that people stay in relationships if the rewards are greater than or equal to the cost. The rewards can be tangible or intangible. The costs are the undesired outcomes, like enduring bad behavior or habits. So the exchange is whether we can deal with the cost or if it's not worth the effort. Some things that also come into deciding if someone is a good relational partner are if our initial impressions are misleading, believing we have so much in common with somebody else and then finding out we don't, which happens so much. You meet somebody, you hit it off, you think this is great, we're gonna run off into the sunset together, and then not so much. So there's also something that is kind of more popular now. It's called meta-communication. It refers to messages that refer to other messages within a relationship. When you discuss in your relationship, you seem angry and sad or frustrated, This type of communication can be risky or helpful, but it calls attention to the dynamics within the relationship. So we all decide on how much self-disclosure we want to share with somebody. Self-disclosure is so risky. You disclose too soon, it's used against you, you feel uncomfortable. Every situation is different. There are so many questions to ask before you disclose too much to people. Is this important? Is this reasonable? Is this relevant? Is it reciprocated? Will it be constructive? So, and then a lot of our communication is online now. And that can be interpersonal in a way, but the downside of online interactions is phubbing, which is called phone snubbing. People paying attention to their devices rather than people that are right there. And so the interpersonal connection can be lost on that. So, personality types. What are personality types? Why should we care? Knowing your personality type, you'll be able to identify your strong and weak areas. Everybody loves doing things differently. knowing other people's personality types so you can learn how they hear you. You can be the most brilliant communicator of all time, but if your intended audience does not hear you, if you are not able to communicate to them, you could be just talking to a brick wall. So you have to learn to speak to the heart of the person in your life. So when somebody is addressing you, like they call you by name, like Terry, you light up, it's like music to your ears. So in listening and hearing that, and then knowing how to communicate with somebody on the level of where the things that you're saying really just makes them light up, and it's like calling their name. That is really great in a personal communication. So the DOT method is personality communication where we're using precognitive communication. So we're learning how to know how somebody communicates by identifying their personality type. There's 4 communication styles, and they're color-coded. There's purple, who is a visionist type of communication person, yellow, who's pictorialist, a red, who's a rationalist, a blue, sensationist. And so breaking it down by color, I have this beautiful, colorful slideshow. Maybe. Invite it. Our purple dots are talkative, fun, quick-witted, friendly, creative, innovative people. So you spot a purple dot person by listening, and you'll hear little cues like, I know, and you'll hear them chattering like with people. People love to talk to them. They're warm, they're friendly, they're caring, they're kind, but they like to know the what. They want to know direction. They want to know, the what of the situation. So communicating with your purple dot, you have to be prepared to listen to them. And I found that with like the purple dots in my life is that I listen to them, and then it just seems like if they know, if they feel like they're heard, our communication works really well. They like to know that they're valued. The yellow dot person is, I don't know if you can see that, immaculate, time conscious, detailed. They are on time all the time. The best way to piss them off is to be late. They're very patient. They like to have their say. You have to give them time to respond. And it's funny, like as I'm like going through these, I can think of different people who are like yellow, purple. So they're like the people that walk into the room and they will straighten up the picture on the wall. So communication with the yellow dot is being very precise. They like being of service, they're working hard, and they're very reasonable people. Red dot people, the rationalist. This person is very complicated. So this person is quiet, practical, cautious, hesitant, thoughtful, uncompromising. I identify strongly as a red dot, and if I could just bring up my wedding proposal for my husband, you would see why. I will never live down the hesitation in that proposal. But literally, this is a typical red dot person. They just know that how they respond can affect themselves, but other people permanently, like for the rest of their lives. And so they have a lot of thought put into things. And so yeah, they might go, oh my God, and look like they're frozen, or maybe they're hesitating. It's not because they're hesitating. That's just who they are. So to communicate with them, like the most important thing is to never lie to them. I can tell you that. If you lie to the red dot, they will never trust you again, ever, ever. But they will. They'll interact with you, but they'll remember. They will remember. But anyway, that's just who they are. And then our blue dots. I love our blue dots. Oh my gosh, our blue dots are just, I'm so jealous. I wish I was a blue dot. They're caring, sensitive, empathetic, strong, caring, affectionate, caring. No. They're so compassionate. They're the empaths. They can walk into the room and they're like, oh my gosh, somebody's upset, somebody's sad. They want to know what people are feeling, what's going on with them. So the most important way to communicate with them is to talk with them, but then let them process that and come back. Allow them to have time to feel and go with how they're feeling to the situation and come back with that. So anyway, I would like to pass around. These are our pretend dots. So I'm just curious. I'm identifying myself as this red dot, and I have an idea of what dots people are. We're gonna pretend this is red, but we have the yellow, blue, purple, and so if you want to take a Post-it and just identify who you think you are as a dot. She's got multiple dots.
I'm orange.
She's orange. I love it.
Colorblind.
Josh is purple. Carla is.
I'm blue.
Carla's blue.
Yeah.
We figured that out last time.
Yeah.
What dot do you think Josie is?
Ooh, probably blue.
I see her as blue.
Yeah.
It's yellow.
Yeah.
Ashley's purple.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
She reminds me of a blue though too.
Yeah.
So, so in closing, the biggest measure of success in relationships is how well two people can communicate about the dissatisfaction and how they can negotiate for change. Unsuccessful relationships are marked with avoidance and directness. Successful relationships are marked with good communication, knowing your person that is in your life. So knowing how people perceive information is so important to being able to communicate with them and to increase your happiness and their happiness, and then you can walk off into the sunset with that person. So thank you for your time.